mouse and what?
That's what I want. Sure. Don't duct tape on face. Tyler, don't duct tape on face.
Oh.
You have duct tape on face? No, right now. Yeah, but I duct taped it this weekend. Wow. It fell apart. The bottom part came off. This is the first time I've seen you sit right here.
Your top is very scary.
Who didn't want you? Me?
Yeah.
Did you just pay for that? So that's your milk?
No.
Yeah, I just took it when they're not looking.
He does it every day.
I tried it. Sometimes it doesn't work.
I know.
Yeah, one time I caught you.
Yeah.
Just let him do it. He's fine. He's
I know, I
funny
thought he
though.
was somebody else. I didn't know it was Tyler. So like, at lunchtime, he sticks his hand in the window and grabs it and hides it where we can't see it, and then she gives him the milk.
Hey, he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get two pieces because I didn't have a jacket. Yesterday she didn't want to come in the cafeteria.
Oh, why not? She's nervous? Is she nervous? No. I know. I'm nervous also.
Come on, people. You're,
Good morning, Mr. Wallace.
thank you. How y'all doing?
Really?
Yeah.
That was you?
Yeah.
Hey, again.
Sorry.
I don't know what to say.
But she did took it,
I
right?
don't know what to say.
Tanisha.
Well, you do it to us sometimes.
But she did took it, right?
Have any of you ladies ever heard me fart? Ever?
No.
You have not. Ty.
I said no.
Oh, I thought you said yeah. I thought you were being contrary. Okay, so, Tyler, I don't do it to the class when there's ladies in the class.
Oh.
I only do it when there's guys, when it's fellas.
They can hide in the class.
Well, sometimes there's other reasons.
Thanks, Wallace.
No, can you say
I
that again?
forgot to turn this in this morning, so I came by.
Can you say that again? I have my headphones. You say she did take it,
My
right?
mom wanted me to ask if we
Oh,
need to fill out a
so it's a yeah.
letter because we didn't know what to do with that.
But she's too shy to talk to me.
No,
Yeah, I don't know why.
I took care of the reference. What else?
She also
She
asked
doesn't
me to
even
fill
know
out the rest
No.
of the packet.
I'm just like trying to welcome her,
I've never filled out
not something,
this
anything
packet.
like that.
She, I think it was all highlighted. So here's what will happen. If Michael is here today, we'll have him go through it, okay, with you. And if not, then during fifth period, I'll go through it with you, okay?
That's okay.
Anybody see
I
Dai Chi?
decided to come back.
Hey, Tyler, do you know you got crap all over the desk? Like
He
there's all
just-
this wet stuff.
I heard that he's in savage.
So go get a paper towel, okay? A dry one and a wet one at the bathroom and bring it back.
Okay.
He might be in savage.
I had to come back.
Hi, Rebecca.
I haven't seen you in a while. I'll be back for fifth period later. See you, Mr.
Oh,
Wallace.
I look forward to it.
Sadly, I'm in
That's such a lie.
I do. I love Victor.
You just, I don't know. I just get uncomfortable. But
He's I mean,
I know he's harmless.
you just gotta be blunt. You just, hey, don't touch me.
That's what I do. It's like, no. I say no when he tries to touch me. He's like, no.
He likes to hug. He's very huggy.
Yeah, and it's very uncomfortable.
You should see him in the cafeteria.
God.
Really?
He hugs everyone.
Well, here's the problem. People hug him back.
God. That's,
No,
like,
no.
that's the problem.
He just hugs them and they just like, okay, wait, let go now.
That's funny. I've never seen that before. Yeah, really. Ernesto? We doing okay? Would you like to take a little air? Would you like to get out for a second? We do. I need coffee, bro. You check bookstore first?
What?
Is that your mom? Your dad? Oh. We got your books, people. Tomorrow we will finish our budget notes. Today, where's your book? What's that? At home? You know what? Ask and you shall receive.
Oh boy.
You can borrow Dai cheese. Your book is up there?
You be there.
No, I don't care if you use your notebook or not.
Are we writing it?
No. I think today we're going to read and talk. Read and talk, talk and read. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't like it when I talk like that, huh? My children don't like that either. Like, why are you trying to like sound cool? And I'm like, you know, I just want to tell them like, I don't need to sound cool. I am cool. Yeah. I could sound like a dork and it's still going to come off cool. Right, Nico?
Mr. Wallace.
Yeah. Hi. Was it successful? Thank you so much. Could you, if you don't mind, just set it on there. Thank you. And that's so, I appreciate that. Hold on.
Oh my god. Stop! Stop!
What? All right,
No,
chapter
Mr.
4.
Wallace.
The demand for goods and services. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty of economics on a big social level. Yes,
Technically, you just farted right in front of me.
I know, but you didn't care. And you don't know that I'm farting.
I
I could have been out there just making funny faces. I was checking for spiders out there, by the way. Okay? That's how a gentleman handles his business. Got it?
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
looking for spiders.
Not very gentleman.
No.
Everyone turn to page 109, Law of Demand. I want you guys to know about the law of demand. So here's more stuff. What is demand again? Nico, what is demand? Demand is made up of two things, guys. The want and the what. No! You might want something, you might need it, but a producer ain't gonna produce it unless you can do what? Devin, let's say you want a pizza, okay?
Right.
Thank you. Common sense. It is want coupled with the ability to buy. That's what drives demand. That's what drives an economy. Got it? Make sense? So when we talk about demand, it's not the verb demand. Hey, close your book. That's a demand. No, leave your damn book open. That's a demand. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, in economic terms, the demand is the want, desire of consumers to purchase something coupled with the ability to actually buy it. That's what's going to cause an industry to start producing more of something. For example, what's being produced a lot right now?
Meat.
Okay, what else?
Marijuana.
Yeah, what else? That's true.
School.
Schools?
I think schools is weird.
Guns. What else? What do we produce a lot of here in the United States?
Goods.
Like what? Goods, but what kinds of goods?
Agriculture.
What kinds of goods are being produced right now? Let's tell you what. Let's not discuss food. What other things? What kind of solid objects are being produced?
Cars.
Guns, cars, what else? Planes, what else? Buildings, what else?
Houses.
Houses, why? What's the demand? What's driving it?
The growth of population.
Growth of population, but they're not going to produce houses. Remember, we've had growth before. In 2008, we had, our population was increasing, but what happened? Why did the housing market crash? Because people couldn't buy the homes. So what happens, what's that? They were what led to the housing crash at the time, Libby, was that savings of our banks, money lending institutions allowed people who couldn't actually pay off their loans, take out loans. So what would happen is, let's say Tyler wants to buy a house from you. So do you guys remember how much, guys, do you have to make in order to pay $500 a month rent? How much do you have to make? What's the formula? Your rent can't be more than what?
More than 1400.
More than 3 times your gross income, okay? So that's the formula I would use for renting you an apartment. So what was happening, I was saying, all right, Tyler, you want to buy a house from me? I'll give you a $100,000 loan. But let's say Tyler makes $10,000 a year. Now, think about this. $10,000 a year, that's a little less than $1,000 a month. Is he going to be able to pay off the loan? Because on his house, he's going to have to pay taxes. He's going to have to pay insurance. He needs to eat. Remember what our food bill was a month?
Yeah.
$450. That's half of what he has to pay me, and that's just food. Utilities. You guys following me here? And if he owns a home, the utility, so it's like these people couldn't pay off loans. Guess what? They could pay them off for a little while, and then they would foreclose. They wouldn't be able to pay their, and guess what the bank got to do? Take their home back. The banks didn't really care. But that led to a lot of people being without a home. Homelessness. 1 second. Might be one of my girlfriends. B14. What's up, baby? You just can't get enough of me, can you?
Oh my god.
What do you need? Who do you need? Okay. Did he hop when he left? Oh, okay. You know what we should probably try to do is sit the two of them down and have a talk. You know? I'm serious. Maybe give them a game that they can do together. Like, those whatever you gave me, I don't know what the hell they are, bionicles or whatever. Yeah, maybe have them put one together.
Yeah, can I move these from my dad's?
You know what? I have a really good suggestion. When the two of them get together to make the bionicles, we can have Libby. She just volunteered to help them.
Hell no, I did not.
Oh, then why don't we keep our mouth shut then? Oh, hey, Libby, do you like apples? That's what I thought.
Shut up.
I don't think you're going to be able to get her to do that.
No.
Yeah, I would say get the two of them together. Try to get them to maybe work on something together, or maybe we can
Let them
hammer
build
this
a
thing
puzzle.
out. Well, you know what? What I might do then is maybe the next block period, I'll bring the two of them into my class, and I could because I got the things here, and maybe we could try that. There you go. Can I get back to tormenting my students? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, will you do me a favor? Will you talk to Tyler's class about farting in class?
Is that really a federal offense?
Is it a federal offense? It's not a federal offense, but I'm getting sick of it. Okay. Okay. Have a wonderful day. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, law of demand. I want you guys to read that, page 109.
Why?
What is law of demand? What are we talking about? These are economic laws. So basically what they are is a law means it's not like law as in policy. It's a truism. When these conditions exist, these things happen in the economy. Okay, remember the economy is all of it, right? The economy is our financial institutions, it's our industries, it's the world of consumers, the world of producers, it's the markets, it's buying and selling and trading, it's making decisions whether you buy those things or Cheez-Its or an apple. Okay, it's all of those things all brought, and on an individual level, Tyler, we call that what kind of economics? We call that microeconomics. And on a big systemic level, Samantha, we call that macroeconomics. So when we talk about the law of demand, we're talking about a truism that affects us on a macro level. Remember, who's making the demands? The consumer. Who's producing the goods, Nico? The producers. Okay? And this is our country is all about, that's what capitalism is based on, producing. Alright? First settlers came here, what were they producing? They were building homes, they were making maple syrup, they were growing cotton and tea and tobacco and sending it back to England and making money off of that. And what happened is, in England, because these were colonies, they wanted a cut of that money, a big cut of the money. And so producers here were saying, bull crap, man, we're doing all the work, we're doing all the hard work, and you guys are making money off it. They're like, yeah, because you're a freaking colony, right? That's why you guys exist. And so we went to war, and we said, you know what, screw this. We want to reap the financial benefits of our own labor and production. We're sick and tired of giving it all to the king. That's why we went to war. It was all about the economy, all about money. And power too. Sometimes money and power are, what I would call, here's a new word for you guys, inextricable. They can't be separated. What is the law of demand? You guys just read it. What does it say? You're not even on the right page right now.
I don't know what page we're on.
Okay, so I'll repeat this again, page 109. Everyone turn to page 109. You guys see where it says the law of demand?
Yeah.
All right, what is the law of demand? What does it say? You can either quote it or tell me in your own words. Tai, can we put the phone away right now, please? Are you on page 109 right now?
Yeah.
You actually now got a piece of paper covering the page. Now you're on it. Well, look down at 109 and you'll see a blueprint right there in bold print, law of demand. Are you going to answer the question? Thank you.
The law of demand is the tendency for the price and the quantity demanded to move in opposite directions.
Price and quantity to move in opposite directions. What does that mean? So if you have more of something, what happens to the price?
Yeah.
It goes down, right? Because more means what to the consumer? What does more mean? When there's more of something, listen, when there's more cars being produced, what does that mean for you?
More options.
More options. Yeah. It doesn't mean necessarily that you can buy more. You might not be able to buy more. Like, right now, if they make more Teslas, I'm not going to go out and buy a Tesla. It costs too much money for me. But someone's buying it. And whoever is going to buy a Tesla, if there's a whole bunch of electric cars like the Tesla, then they have to compete over those people's dollars. Make sense? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay? So it's going to drive the price down. And then when there's less of something, you guys want to know when this happens during a hurricane. If you live in hurricane country, like say Florida, the southern Gulf or coastal states, and there's a hurricane coming up and you go to the hardware store and you try to get batteries or shovels or flashlights or sandbags, guess what happens to the prices all of a sudden? They go up because those stores are being bought out. They know that there's going to be a lot of people flooding into that store. So they're going to raise the prices up. And the more they run out, guess what? People who are coming back the next day to get this stuff, they're going to be even more desperate. So what are they willing to do?
Buy more.
Yeah, well, pay more. Pay more. That's the law of demand. If there's less of something. Do you guys know what happened to avocados last year? No? Do you guys like guacamole?
Yeah.
You guys eat avocado?
No.
Did you eat less of it last year?
Mm.
You may not remember. Last year, avocados were really, really expensive. There were two things that were happening. One was a type of trade war that was happening because Mexico and the United States weren't really getting along at the time. Because of some things that the eventual president was tweeting out. You guys remember that? We're going to build a wall and we're going to make Mexico pay for it. Okay? At the same time, there had been some kind of like drought or plague or something that affected the avocado harvest. So there was a lot less. Some restaurants here in Sacramento stopped serving avocado entirely. Guacamole, stuff like that. Because what they said is we have to charge our customers a price is so high that we're just not going to serve it. And some places put out notes, put out signage that said guacamole is going to be this much. Usually it's that much. But it was so expensive because avocados were scarce. That's why they tell you guys you ready for this? Here's a practical, real-life economic choice that you guys are going to have to make at some point. When you buy food on your own, buy fruit that's in season. Why do I say that?
It's cheaper.
Why?
Because it's there more.
There you go, because there's more of it. Law of demand. When's orange season? Do you guys know? The winter, right now. You'll start noticing orange prices will start going up as we extend into spring. And then by the summer, they'll be really expensive. But what's sold in the summer, that's cheaper than oranges. What's that? Melons. That's why watermelon is such a popular summer, like if you go to a summer event, a family barbecue, I don't know about your families, but my family, if we have a barbecue, there's always watermelon there. But usually barbecues happen in summer and watermelons, cantaloupes, things like that. Okay? So law of demand. Andrew, what's law of demand?
There are two distant reasons why a
Two
consumer...
distance, that's not what I'm showing. What I'm showing are two things going
Why?
in opposite directions. What are we talking about?
Separation?
So what are we talking about?
Expands?
Read the law of demand. Yes, read it. You know what? Let's read it together. On page 109, the substitution effect. The second paragraph. Everybody there, the substitution effect? The second, you guys find it? That's a heading, right? In black, in bold print. The second paragraph. The tendency for consumers to switch away from a good whose price has risen and towards other goods that have become relatively less expensive is, oh, darn it, why am I reading that? I'm sorry. I saw the substitution effect and I thought that was a law. Let me go back up. Where it says law of demand, go up 3 lines. The tendency for the price and the quantity demanded to move in opposite directions is known as the law of demand. So quantity and price. Quantity demanded and price. So as prices go up, what happens to quantity?
They go up.
As prices go up, well, what happens as prices go up? What's gonna happen to our consumption? Are we going to buy less of it?
It'll go away.
Ryan's okay right now.
It'll
Thank
go
you.
away after it's time.
So, if we're not going to buy the thing, what's gonna happen to quantity? Again, what is demand, guys? Demand is the want and the ability to buy, which affects whether producers produce. So what's gonna happen to production? Listen, if you guys stop buying cars, am I gonna keep making cars?
No.
Okay. And then as quantity goes up, what happens to prices?
You go down.
Nope.
You go
Remember,
down.
it's opposite. It goes down. Prices goes down. Let's go back to oranges in the winter. The more oranges that are out there, the cheaper it is, because it creates more competition. So if Andrew, Devin, and Samantha all own stores, I have 3 different stores where I can go to get oranges, right? And at each of these stores, if there's enough oranges, they could sell them at different price points. So if I don't like Samantha's prices, I'll go to Devin's place. If I don't like his place. Now, if there isn't a lot of quantity though, let's say Andrew can't even get oranges, or if he can get them, they're at prices so high, I'm not gonna buy them from you. Because are you gonna buy something as a store owner and sell it for cheaper than what you bought it for?
No.
No.
You wouldn't be able to stay alive. You wouldn't be able to stay in business, right? Okay. Okay, I want to talk about the demand schedule, and this is page 111, demand schedule and the demand curve, 111 through 112. I want you guys to look at those right now, 111 and 112. Now I'm going to ask you guys to explain what the demand schedule is and what the demand curve is. See if you can give me an example. Okay? So you guys read it to yourselves right now, and if we have to read it together, we will. So read it to yourselves. I want to hear what you guys, how do you interpret this? I took roll. Was I supposed to give someone a test?
Rebecca, she has it.
How'd you get that test?
It has her name on it. Well, I told her over this afternoon.
Oh, so you just come in and take it thinking that I forget? Because I forgot. I'm just realizing right now. I haven't given you your test, and I realize, where's Rebecca's test? And I'm looking at you. You're taking a test.
When I am not here, everything just falls apart.
I'm not. I'm being ironic. It's like, thank God she helped herself, because I was no
But
help.
she was asking me about help in Spanish, and I told her that she would have to talk to you about that.
I know 4 Spanish words. Taco, burrito, enchilada, nachos.
No.
That's it.
No is Spanish.
Oh, ¿dónde está la casa de Pipi? Where is the house of Pipi?
The south part of
The bathroom. No, we actually used to say things like that. ¿Dónde está? Where is la casa, the house, de of Pipi? Where's the bathroom? Why are you looking at me like that? Don't look at me like I'm, don't you judge me.
We're doing it.
All right, what is demand schedule? What is the demand schedule, guys? It is a graph,
Figure
okay? Who would use this graph? Who would look at it? So economists might, yeah. But really guys, what's the relationship? Who are the two people who are involved in a demand relationship? What are we talking about here? Are we talking about two star-crossed lovers? No. We're talking about consumers and producers. Are you guys consumers or producers? Okay, Tyler is a producer of natural gas. But besides that, are you guys consumers or producers? We're all consumers. I don't produce anything except for hot air and BS. Okay, we're all consumers. What determines whether or not we consume something? Two things. What are they? Come on, guys. What's demand? Our wants and desires coupled with what?
The quality of life.
The ability.
The ability to buy. Very good. I knew that's what you meant. So like I can want pizza today for lunch, but I'm not getting it because I didn't bring my wallet. I don't have any money. I don't have the ability to buy it. Okay? So that's what drives demand. So whether or not pizza places may not stop producing pizzas because other people want to buy it, right? So the people looking at the demand schedule, the DS, are going to be who? The consumers? Well, based on what you read, would the consumers care about a demand schedule? No. But that's okay, you're just guessing right now, you didn't actually read it. Okay. I'm asking you guys, well now you know the answer, it's not consumers, so who cares about a demand schedule? The producers. The people who produce the industry, okay? So what does a demand schedule tell us? What's that?
When they're open and when they close.
So you got quantity and you got price, okay? Quantity and price. So what happens as price goes up?
Why does prices go up? Don't people start buying less?
Okay, so prices at $5, okay? The quantity, I should probably not mix this up. So what's going to happen here is the price of something increases. Well, as the price increases, what happens to quantity? Remember, the law of demand tells us what? The two things move in opposite directions. So as you have greater quantity, what happens to prices?
Go down.
They go down. Less quantity of something, what happens to prices?
Go up.
Yeah, and this is what you have to think about, guys. If you're producing, say, a car, you're making a car, Libby, and you sell it at one price and a lot of people are buying it, you don't need as high of a profit margin for that car. But if fewer people are buying it, you're going to need to sell it for more to make up for all the labor, all the input, all the materials you put into that car. Does that make sense? So if I have a car that costs $5,000 to make, and I sell it for $6,000, typically, guys, when you're buying an object, like, I can't speak for cars, I don't know about cars, okay? But I can tell you about bicycles. When you buy something that costs at a bike shop, you're basically going to spend about 100% more. That's the markup. So if the bike shop buys a bike, when you see a $1,000 bike at a bike shop, it probably costs the bike shop around $500, give or take, $500. Okay. So they're going to mark it up another $500. That's 100%, right? And then that'll pay for the guy who's selling the bike, the guy who sold the bike to the bike shop. the people who box the bike, UPS for sending it from Colorado to Sacramento. That'll pay for the utility, that factors in that price, that markup. It's called the MSRP. You know what MSRP is? The manufacturer suggested retail price of something. That takes into consideration, look, you're a businessman, you need to stay in business. Here's what you should sell it for if you want to have a reasonable profit. Okay? But if I got a lot of people coming to my shop, I can cut that MSRP down, right? Because I can make a profit by selling a lot of the quantity. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The industry will protect itself though. Typically, if I sell bikes to your bike shop, so I'm a seller of, you guys know any bike names, any bike brands? Right, but what's the kind of bikes they sell there? Yeah, that's a type of bike, but the brand. The brand. So they have bikes like, have you guys ever heard of Trek bicycles? T-R-E-K? Okay, so I worked for a company that sold Trek bicycles. And whenever the Trek salesman would come into the company, or the store where we sold bicycles, and they would talk about sales, either all of the bike stores in Reno at the time were doing a sale at the same time, or one store was, and then they would say, all right, so as soon as your sale is over, this other store is going to have a sale, and you can't have a sale at that time. You got to stop your sale. Because Trek wanted a lot of different bike stores to sell their product. Does that make sense? And if they cannibalize, if they cut each other's legs out, then Trek they're limited to who they can sell bikes to, and then that bike store, if they have prices that the consumers don't want, then people aren't going to buy Trek bicycles, and that's bad for the Trek bicycle company. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So the people who are going to be interested in this chart, the demand schedule, is going to be the producers. And they want to see, and what they're going to do, guys, is prices might creep up, but they want to see what's going to happen to consumption as prices creep up. I'm going to guess, for example, cell phones. As cell phones came out, new types of cell phones, and I would hear about these ridiculous amounts of money people would pay for them, but they were still coming out. They were still producing them. Why? Because people were willing to buy them. Make sense?
Yeah.
So they're going to look, they're going to say, all right, the producers are going to want to see a chart. They're going to want to see data and say, all right, let's see what happens if we sell them at this price. And then they'll chart demand. And if they could tag on 50 cents more, because think about that. 50 cents is half a dollar, right? Is 50 cents if you buy a cell phone, Nico, for how much does a iPhone cost? Do you know?
Depends on which one.
I'm asking Nico right now. But thank you, Tyler. You're right. Nico, how much do you know how much an iPhone costs? You have an iPhone, right? Did you pay for it? Your dad paid for it. Okay. You don't know how much it cost them? Anybody have an iPhone? Pay for it themselves?
I know.
Or do you know how much the iPhone costs? How much?
300.
This costs $700.
That costs $700.
Some
All right, so
more.
here's the deal. You bought an iPhone for $700. If next month a new iPhone, the iPhone Z comes out.
That's only like $1,000 because it.
Let me finish though. And I sell the iPhone Z at $700.50. That's not much of a jump, huh? Right? Do you think that's going to affect sales? If it's not much of a jump, you think it'll affect sales? Do you think people are going to buy the iPhone Z if it's $700.50 as opposed to $700? Would you pay another 50 cents extra for a better phone? Of course. Well, okay. The answer to that, I mean, it's 50 cents. Like, what's 50 cents in $700, right? But here's the thing. Think about this. If they sell 500 million, That's a profit, a net profit of $250 million. Make sense? They're gonna look at that schedule and they're gonna go, damn. We're not gonna lower the price because these people are still buying it at this price, the consumers. It's not affecting consumer habits. So that's who's, now what's the demand curve? So that's the demand schedule. Producers will look at the demand schedule. Talk to me about demand curve. It is that shape, guys, that demand takes as prices are adjusted. And of course, what producers want, they want to see a shape that goes upward, right? They want to see that demand is going up so that they can produce more. And that's good for an economy, right? If we're selling cars and a lot of people are able to buy cars, what does that mean for our industry? More being built, which means what? I'm going to point to you, each of you, hold on guys, hold that thought. Thank you, Ernesto. I appreciate your effort. I'm going to point to each of you and I want you to tell me one good thing about, we have a car company here in this class, all right? We have a car company. We're not here to, you guys aren't here to take this class. You guys are here to help me make cars. Each of you has a role in making a car. Each of you has a role in making a car. I'm going to point to you and I want each of you and I want you to tell me one good thing that happens to us economically speaking, either on a micro level or a macro level, that is affected by us producing more cars. Samantha, I'm going to start with you. What does it mean when we're producing more cars? Either on a micro or macro level, you pick. What financial, what economic benefit do you get out of? I'm the owner of the company and I'm employing you guys and I say, guys, guess what? We have projected sales of 1 million more cars. We got to come up with 1 million more units of cars. We're going to build 1 million more than last year. What's one benefit to you? What does that mean to you? Remember, you're an employee of my company. You don't know? Well, if we were producing less cars, here's what might happen. Guys, we're going to produce 1 million less cars than last year, and that's going to cut into my profit, so you're fired, Samantha. But what I just announced is we're going to produce 1 million more cars. So what's one benefit that could occur for you? Am I going to fire you? If we have to make 1 million more cars than the year before, am I going to fire you?
No.
Or will I want to keep you?
No.
What's that? Keep, okay. What's another benefit?
Pay raise.
I might give you guys a pay raise. What's good for me is good for you guys, right? I want you guys being, damn it, I got to produce 1 million more cars. I don't want people quitting on me. I need my labor force. And Samantha, I just trained you. I don't want to have to train a new person. You already know what you're doing, and you love working for me. I'm a swell guy. Andrew, what's another benefit? You guys can think either on an individual level, on a company level, or on a societal level. On a governmental level. What's another benefit?
We're still on cars, right?
Well, that's the scenario. Yeah.
That's done, right? Or
You guys are my employees. I just told you we're going to build 1 million more cars than we did last year. Okay, one of the benefits is Samantha figured out that, well, that means I got job security. Libby brought up the point that, hey, that could lead to a raise. You might make more money as an employee. Give me another benefit. This concerns me. This means I'm failing to teach you guys about the system of economics and the ripple effect, how little, listen, all these little things that we talk about, they're all part of a bigger system. Okay? And when you can't answer, this isn't on you. This is my fault. I feel like I'm failing you guys. Not teaching you guys about how one thing affects another. So if you make more money, this is how you should be thinking about it. We can either spend money on the company, on me, or the money goes out into society at large. Okay? When you guys are working more and making more money, how it affects the economy is that you guys have more money in your pocket. Listen, do you live at work?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Where do you live?
A home.
You live in a home. That means you can buy a home. You can pay rent. Whatever is associated with your home. What else do you do? Do you always eat at home?
Yeah.
Will you
No.
always eat at home?
Not always.
And if you have more money, you got that raise Libby was talking about, and your birthday rolls around, where might you eat?
At any restaurant.
At a restaurant. Now, all of you got the same raise, right, guys? Can we put away our phones, please? Thank you. Appreciate it. So you go to a restaurant, Nicole. What does that mean for the restaurant employees? They get more money. Right? You seeing this? So not only am I making more cars, but my employees are spending their money in the community. And when you get more money, Nicole, is the government going to want any of your money? Through what? How are they going to take your money? Through taxes, Devin. So you don't work in the restaurant industry and you don't work in the automotive industry, but you go to school. The more tax revenue that's out there, is that good for you as a student at a school? Right, because what pays for the school? Who pays for school?
Income tax.
Taxes. We all pay for schools. So if we're all making more money, that means the government can take more of your money to pay for services like schools, police, fire departments. Is this all making sense, guys?
Yeah.
And if we make more cars and American consumers don't want to buy them, who might we sell them to? Tyler.
Different countries.
Different countries. And we're going to reap the benefit of those taxes and the tariffs. We're going to sell them maybe for even more money and make more profits. Oh, so now you guys are going to get up and move around and
We
stuff.
literally have 1 minute.
You literally, and then that means I got 1 more minute that I get to talk to you guys.
We can multitask.
Y'all have a nice day. Nicole, that is really bright. I'm just like, oh. Have a nice day.